boxing's not as popular as it used to be anymore, right? UFC is really popular. That's because of Dana White. He built something like the NBA. Stop now, because he's about to do it for boxing again. For boxing now. You want an NBA or an NFL in boxing? Here it comes. Because he knows how to build an institution. And how do you do that?
Hey Max. Boxing is always bigger and big. Don't say boxing is not big enough. Boxing is big. You know how big is boxing.
Should it get bigger, yes or no? Should it get bigger, Canelo?
Maybe it's gonna be bigger, but look, boxing is always big and bigger and bigger.
With a guaranteed purse of at least $100 million. How do you feel about that?
No, you get the number wrong. The contract between us and Canelo more than that.
Hey. Los subes están malos. El contrato es un poquito más grande que eso.
Felicidades, Canelo.
Yeah, congrats, Canelo. Taking them belts and all that stuff too. But shout out to all my Latino and Mexican fans, because I know y'all out there too. A lot of people for years always ran with this narrative that I fight nobodies, I can't sell, I don't have a personality, I'm this, I'm that, all these negative things. And look at all this, to see me fight Canelo. What can they say now?
To bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well.
Well, this is obviously a long discussion.
Had a heated hearing about TKO trying to bring those changes to the Ali Act, and it was postponed 3 months.
Listen, I get it, you want to showboat right now. Set up an interview with me if this is really what you want to talk about.
The press conference for one of the biggest fights in recent years quickly turned chaotic as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford exchanged heated words, while Dana White got into a fiery back and forth with a reporter. What was supposed to be a routine media event transformed into a spectacle of tension, energy, and drama, perfectly setting the stage for Saturday night's blockbuster showdown in Las Vegas. From the very beginning, the atmosphere inside the venue was charged. As both fighters made their entrances, the crowd's reaction seemed mixed, though it became obvious that the balance of support leaned heavily in Canelo's favor. Fans cheered loudly for the Mexican superstar, and though Crawford had his backers, Alvarez carried the energy of the room. That didn't seem to bother Crawford, who looked unfazed and declared with confidence that he was ready to shock the world. Canelo, calm but determined, spoke about how important this fight was to him, calling it one of the biggest moments of his career and promising to put on a performance worthy of his legacy.
And what's it like fighting at Allegiant Stadium in this historic weekend?
I don't know. Hey, ask your question again. I don't think anybody heard you.
I said this is a different type of fight week than you're used to. How's it been like so far, and how are you guys feeling 2 days out for one of the biggest fights in the history of sport? I'm ready for whatever.
Why don't you ask your question again? I don't think anybody heard you. Slow down, sir.
Can you guys hear me? It's a different type of fight week than you both are used to. How has everything been going so far this week, and how are we feeling 2 days out from one of the biggest fights in the history of boxing? I'm feeling great. You know, I'm ready to go shock the world.
Canelo, you too.
No, I feel great. For me, this fight means a lot, and I feel great. Ready. I can't wait for Saturday night. I can't wait for Saturday night, and thank everybody coming to support the event, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Thank you. Oh no, this fight for me is big. It's one of the biggest fights in my career for sure. Means a lot, this win, and he's gonna be in the very top.
Crawford wasn't shy about responding to criticism either. Addressing those who doubted him, he pointed out that many people claimed he hadn't fought anyone significant, brushing it off with a jab that anyone can be labeled a nobody. His comments gained further attention when he reflected on surviving a shooting earlier in his life, insisting he was alive and successful for a reason, and that destiny had brought him here.
Well, anybody can be a nobody, and for what everybody say, I haven't fought anybody, so come Saturday, we're gonna all see. Well, it's gonna be stamped in the history books, and the debate is gonna be over.
The tension eased briefly when a Mexican journalist playfully asked if Crawford was ready to experience Mexican power. Crawford smirked and leaned into the banter, giving a cheeky response that drew laughs from the crowd. A fan from the stands shouted encouragement from Nebraska, which prompted Crawford to add a joke of his own, claiming that where he comes from, people say belt to ass, but he preferred to call himself the buckle since it hurts more.
You know, it's crazy because where I'm from, they say BTA, belt the ass, but I tell them I'm the buckle, it hurt more.
But the spotlight quickly shifted when UFC boss Dana White found himself clashing with a reporter over his new role in boxing. White, who was chairing the press event while promoting his Saudi-backed entry into the sport, became visibly irritated when questions about the Muhammad Ali Act were raised.
Do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters, to bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well?
Well, this is obviously a long discussion. If you want to talk to me about that, set up an interview. This isn't about me and my business. It's about these 2 guys on Saturday night.
The reporter pressed him on whether his UFC model could negatively impact boxing, with critics warning that his approach might limit fighter freedom and leave them earning far less than they should. White snapped back that this wasn't the time or place, telling the reporter to beat it after he persisted. Alvarez himself cheekily shouted, "Fight, fight, fight," during the commotion, only amplifying the moment's intensity.
Earlier this week, the California State Athletic Commission had a heated hearing about TKO trying to bring those changes to the Ali Act, and it was postponed 3 months.
Listen, I get it. You want to showboat right now. Set up an interview with me if this is really what you want to talk about.
It's America, baby.
You
First
have
Amendment.
for these 2, ask them and you can set up an interview with me.
Dana, my follow-up is, if TKO can't make those changes to the Ali Act, will you still invest in the sport of boxing? Will you compete in the market?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview.
Yes or no?
If you want to showboat, I get it. If you have questions for these 2 that are fighting on Saturday, that's a different story.
Fight.
This isn't a discussion to have at a press conference for these 2 that are going to fight on Saturday, 2 legends. If you want to set up an interview with me and ask me these questions, let's do it one-on-one.
Sounds good.
You can ask me anything you want.
This confrontation almost overshadowed the fighters, but the anticipation for the match kept pulling everyone back. With just a day to go before the first bell, other names in the boxing world shared their perspectives on how this contest could unfold.
The ones that are betting against Bud are saying that Canelo is going to hit him like no one else has. What do you say to that?
I laugh because, like I said, I punch hard. For real. And I done caught Bud and he just eat him. Like, look at me like, oh, that was a good punch, and then keep going.
Bud is unhuman.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but that's what makes people great, though.
Yeah.
Being great is doing stuff that people is not suspecting.
Shocker Stevenson, a supporter of Crawford, also offered his insight. He explained why he believed Crawford still had the tools to beat Alvarez, breaking down his reasoning and praising his fellow Americans' abilities.
He's the GOAT. The GOAT is ready. The GOAT is the GOAT, and come Saturday night, we're gonna see some GOAT shit.
Does he lock in yet, or is it like weigh in, then he's locked in? Is he chilled out now, or can you see that fierce look that we all know that Terence Crawford has?
Just be ready come Saturday night. You're going to see the best version of Terence Crawford. He's coming here to shut everybody up as he always do, and nothing's going to be different.
Meanwhile, boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult also weighed in. He highlighted how the hype around this fight had become nothing short of theatrical, pointing to newly surfaced footage of Jaron Boots Ennis sparring. He explained that Alvarez looked like a man preparing to face the very best version of Crawford, but despite the threat, he still believed Canelo would come out on top when the dust settled.
Time to eat.
Who say he needs some rounds? Huh? Who? Yeah, so you'll come back and do some work. Oh, yeah? You know what?
I see you tomorrow.
And more, if they're scared, they run faster. If they are scared, more faster.
Bro, you know what that is.
Luke Thomas also chimed in with his own take. He acknowledged how thrilling the matchup was, but emphasized that Crawford's power shouldn't be underestimated, especially now that he has bulked up to a higher weight class. According to him, Crawford would come prepared with a strategy designed to handle Alvarez, using both his skill set and newfound size to stand a chance against the Mexican icon.
If they were the same size, I'd pick Bud every time. Because to me, Bud is a better, more versatile, overall pure boxer than Canelo. He, to me, and I think we'll probably lean on that, I think what you should expect from Bud is to constantly find a way, not merely to take angles on Canelo, but to turn him. I think they're going to be constantly turning Canelo, in part because Canelo is, by style, very flat-footed. He does have good trunk movement and defense for the most part. As I mentioned, one of the most legendary chins in the history of the game. Not very fast or mobile with his feet. And so I think the lighter guy naturally, who can fight at angles and in turns, is going to be doing that the whole time. Get him to play catch up and then feast on him where you can leave those openings, right? Where he's turning to cover.
Many of boxing's most respected voices shared their predictions as well. Roy Jones Jr., one of the greatest to ever step into the ring, leaned toward Crawford, pointing out that his hunger could be the deciding factor. He admitted Canelo is no easy opponent, but if there's anyone capable of pulling it off, it would be Crawford.
You're leaning towards Crawford, is that correct?
I'm not saying I'm leaning toward him. I love both guys. Both guys are great fighters. Well, I can't say I'm leaning. I am leaning toward Crawford. I am. And not because Canelo is not a great fighter, but because I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows about Canelo. You feel me? So I don't know if Canelo is hungry. I know Bud is hungry. Bud stays hungry. I don't know if Canelo's hungry. Bud has never got the recognition for what he deserves like Canelo has. You understand me? So Bud's still hungry for that recognition. When you're hungry like that, a determined man, it's very hard to detour.
Carl Froch echoed a similar sentiment, stressing that Crawford is bigger than many realize and has the skill to beat anyone he faces. He leaned toward picking Crawford to win, noting his comfort in carrying extra size into the ring.
He has passed his best. He's had over 60 fights. Made a fortune. Why is he even still fighting? But this is a super fight against Crawford.
Yeah.
But it could go wrong for him. He could end up losing. Whoever loses, it'll be an upset because the amount of people that think Crawford's going to win. Crawford's certainly an unbelievable bad boy fighter, proper good fighter. Then you've got Canelo, who just understands the game.
Tyson Fury, on the other hand, approached it with caution. He framed it around weight, saying if the fight were at 168 pounds, Canelo had the advantage, but if it somehow happened closer to 140, Crawford would get the nod. His comment highlighted the fine line Crawford is walking by moving up so many divisions. He said, "This is a very tough fight, different weight categories. What weight will this fight be? I don't know. If it's at 168 pounds, I'll say Canelo. If it's at 140 pounds, I'll say Crawford. So I'll give the edge to Canelo." David Benavidez, the current WBC light heavyweight champion, believed the weight jump would be too much for Crawford. He explained that Alvarez had the size and natural strength to impose his will, though he admitted that if anyone were capable of upsetting Canelo, it would be Crawford.
He has passed his best. He's had over 60 fights. Made a fortune. Why is he even still fighting? But this is a super fight against Crawford. But it could go wrong for him. He could end up losing. Whoever loses, it'll be an upset because the amount of people that think Crawford's going to win. Crawford's certainly an unbelievable bad boy fighter, proper good fighter. Then you've got Canelo, who just understands the game.
Hamza Shiraz, ranked as the #1 contender at super middleweight, predicted a competitive start, but felt Canelo's experience and power would allow him to dominate in the later rounds.
The thing is, with someone like Canelo, you gotta either throw punches in bunches like Bivol did, or you gotta be there where he respects your power, like GGG and these guys. So it sounds a bit mad, but I don't think Crawford's got either or. He's talented, one of the best fighters in our generation, but you've got to remember you're going up. 2 divisions, 3 divisions.
Yeah, 2 or 3
It's
divisions.
different, the game's different up there.
And Canelo's not going anywhere, is it? Because he got clips. You mentioned Bivol there, and Bivol smashed him with quite a lot of big heavy shots.
Yeah.
And he coached.
He took it.
Never been down, has
Nah, he ate it. And it didn't phase him. So I don't see how Crawford can hurt him, to be fair.
Trainer and pundit Teddy Atlas has always been one of Crawford's loudest supporters in this matchup. Even back when the fight was just an idea, Atlas never doubted Crawford could pull it off. He hasn't changed his stance and continues to predict a Crawford victory.
Maybe he's a little overrated. Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. And I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Tim Bradley went even further, describing Crawford as being on a completely different level. He insisted that Crawford would rewrite boxing history and prove himself on fight night, calling it a career-defining moment.
I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro. Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at. And bro, I'm telling you, you go back where you started, you're gonna come back up on top.
Carl Frampton also leaned toward Crawford, suggesting that while both fighters were special, Alvarez might be ever so slightly past his peak, opening the door for an upset.
I'm buzzing about the fight. I remember when Crawford beat Earl Spence. I was one of the first. Do you know what? I often say these statements and everyone laughs at me. I say, is Nick Ball's going to beat Inouye? And now everyone's after Inouye's last performance. Maybe they're not laughing so much, but I did say that Crawford beats Canelo, and that was when he beat Earl Spence. I got ridiculed and mocked and laughed at, but I believe he can beat Crawford, or he can beat Canelo. I genuinely do. I think he's a very special fighter, as is Canelo, but I just do think Canelo's maybe slightly on the slide. Canelo's slide, by the way, is still a lot to beat some of the most elite fighters in the world, but you know what I'm trying to say. I think that Crawford, I fancy Crawford in that fight. I genuinely think he can win on points.
The split among experts shows just how unique this fight is. Some see size and power as the deciding factor, while others believe skill, hunger, and timing will matter most. Regardless of which side they fall on, the consensus is clear. This is a true 50-50 fight that has captured the imagination of the entire boxing world.
Crawford comes to fight. Now, Crawford, in my opinion, I saw a picture of him, and he looks strong, look powerful, and holds the weight well. I've seen him spar and wrestle heavyweights and take them down. Bro, like, I've been in camp with him. The guy's an animal. The guy's a beast. I do lean more towards Crawford in this fight. You know what I mean? I give it a 60-40 towards Crawford because he's just a solid guy. And I don't think Crawford's been in any wars, as many hard wars as Canelo has been in some wars and been hit a lot by a lot of big fighters and big weights. He's gone up and down in weight, and I think that doesn't help as well, going up and down weights. But being in the ring, obviously, we know that when I fought them.
With the press conference providing fireworks, Dana White adding controversy, and legends from across the sport weighing in, the stage is set for an unforgettable night at Allegiant Stadium. Crawford will enter determined to prove he belongs among the all-time greats by daring to step up in weight, while Canelo will look to remind everyone why he has been the face of boxing for over a decade. The drama, predictions, and rivalries all converge into one simple truth. When the bell rings, only one man will leave as the victor, and the world will be watching every second of it.
Listen, like I said before, we're not going to talk about the past. We're going to talk about the present and the future. His last fight wasn't spectacular either. So, you know, one that's talking about my last performance, you know, let's talk about his last performance. So don't do that on me and say, oh, well, your last performance was this, and you know, we gotta talk about his last performance as well.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, share it with fellow fight fans, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss the latest from Ring Rivalry.